Huh? Dig. Hole. Huh? Dirt.
Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with The Puzzlement by Yon Toys, aka Daft Toys. Now this is clearly a representation of the Riddler from the brand new Matt Reeves The Batman movie, with the new Riddler portrayed by Paul Dano. And in my opinion, the new Batman movie was absolutely fantastic. Paul Dano's portrayal of the Riddler was incredible and left us wanting so much more. And of course, in front of us is a 1/6 scale representation of that character. Now, being honest right out of the gate, I am a little bit disappointed with the figure in front of us. And if you're at all curious why, well, let's hold each other's hands, grip them tight, dive right the hell goddamn in. Dabby contours. All right, so as we zoom in and immediately take a look at this figure, we can say, well, it's not horrible whatsoever. And let's just get that right out of the way. This is actually a pretty decent figure. The reason I really hammered in on feeling disappointed, for starters, I'd say that there is false marketing, unless I am absolutely colorblind, and what I'm referring to is the coat. Now, the coat in shot here and what I pulled out of the box is absolutely pristine, and it makes no goddamn sense. Now, in my opinion, the pictures showed a little bit of a weathered gradient look to the coat. It did not show a 100% pristine green coat whatsoever. Now, maybe there's some type of filter or something, but again, it seemed a little bit like false advertising when you take a look at the actual Yon Toys promo pics for this guy. I mean, we really need to take into account the Riddler lives in Gotham. It's raining constantly. On top of that, this guy is killing a lot of people. Why would his jacket be pristine? Is this like day one Riddler? Is this the first day he bought this coat, or is this one of the Riddler clones that just purchased this jacket at Dick's and now is wearing it and then painted a question mark on his jacket? I'm just again a little bit perplexed as to why this would be this clean. It's raining all the time. He's killing people. It would absolutely be weathered to the max. So to give us a pristine, non-weathered jacket was extremely next-level disappointing. So much so that I looked into the 6 Feet Lane Studios Conundrum Man. Thank you, 1/6 Kit, for answering my question immediately on if there was another version out there, because I knew there was 2 versions out there. I just could not wrap my head around what the other one was called. And again, we have this one in front of us, and we have the 6 Feet Lane Studios Conundrum Man. Now, they look almost identical, and the reason I went with this one initially was I heard Yon Toys was Daft Toys, and Daft Toys has a good track record. Now, second to being disappointed with the weathered look of the coat, I think the hood here is just way too puffy. Now, it wouldn't be horrible puffy like this had we had a wire through here so we can kind of sculpt it and mold it around his head here, but there is no wire or anything in here, so it really just kind of sits on top of his head however the hell it wants to, unless you do some type of finagling. Secondly, the way the glasses, you actually manually put them on the face there. I get it. We're probably doing that because some of these guys are going to be used as the Riddler clones. However, the way the glasses sit on the face was just a little bit clunky, and it did not look 100%. Proportion-wise and the way it sit, it was just slightly off. And again, as we wrap up the conversation about the jacket and the hood, take one last glance at how gigantic and puffy the hood sits on him. I am just very disappointed that I'm going to have to figure a way to get this to sit on here appropriately that does not look like some gigantic Eskimo hood that's sitting on him. Now, while we're in shot, let's quickly take a look at one of the accessories, and that is To the Batman card that you see. Now, we have multiple kind of To the Batman cards that he comes with, and again, I hate to be a sourpuss, it's just a little absurd. I mean, do we really need 100 different variations and colors of To the Batman cards? One would have been enough for all of us. Not sure that anybody's so picky where they're like, hey, I needed the card from that particular scene in the movie, and if so, my God, you need therapy, because whether it was red, purple, purple, gray, or green. I wouldn't have given a crap as to which two the Batman accessory card had been given to us, but the fact that we had 5 of them was completely unnecessary. And then, of course, we have the duct tape that comes with them. I'll show this off in the next shot, but I mean, it's really just kind of a piece of plastic, nothing special to this thing. And I'm pretty sure, oddly, this was added kind of like after the fact. It should have been the main accessory. And then, of course, we have the front of it, which gives me some Dr. Doom vibes, oddly, and I'll be honest again, just very disappointed. It's a pretty straightforward, matted, green, sculpted look. No weathering, no depth, no shadowing whatsoever to the mask. If we pair that to the non-weathered coat and everything else, this whole product feels very, very rushed, which is disappointing because it has some great articulation. Hadn't they rushed it so fast to the market, and maybe they're trying to beat the 6 Feet Lane studio version coming out. But I think if they slowed down a little bit, weathered the mask, added a little bit more depth painting to it, some weathering to the coat, this could have been an absolute killer piece, especially for the price point. And making our way down to the pants and the boots. I mean, the pants are pretty decent. I mean, it's just going to be the same old thing. I'm going to beat a dead horse with this one. No weathering, pretty new looking and straightforward. So disappointed with the pants. Very similar to the coat and the mask. And then I hate to be very blunt about the boots here, but the boots are trash. I mean, there's no articulation in them. They were fully sculpted, a rushed paint job to them, and they just really look bad. I hate to say it. I feel bad saying it, but the boots just look bad on this guy. It was almost one of the first things that my eyes were drawn to as I pulled him out of the box. And it just pairs up a little bit what I said in the beginning. When we think about the non-weathered coat, pants, mask, and these really crappy looking boots, this whole figure feels very, very rushed, especially if it is true and this is Daft Toys. Personally, I've had only fantastic figures from Daft Toys in the past, so I am extremely disappointed to know that this is where their quality is going. And then lastly, we need to hone in on the stand. Nothing to complain about whatsoever. It's a crotch grabber. It's branded with the Riddler. We have his face on there. And it's kind of a stereotypical Hot Toy-ish type of stand. Glad it was included, and again, not too much complaints whatsoever on that. I just wanted to show the sniper rifle that was included. It's just really out of character for the regular Riddler to be using a sniper rifle. And again, I get it. The clones were using it. The regular Riddler wasn't. So there's two ways to look at it. I just think it's such a stupid accessory to include. However, with that said, it looks pretty decent. Paint application's pretty nice. As you see, it comes in kind of multiple pieces here. So it's a decent looking gun and set that comes with it. It's just, I don't know. It's so stupid to put this on the Riddler that it makes no sense whatsoever. It's just very, very out of character for the Riddler, in my opinion. And just to kind of quick zoom in on the little Riddler notes, they have absolutely incredible detail. Again, a lot of variations on these. And then inside of each little note is an actual detailed card from the movie. Just pretty outrageously detailed. And again, just to really stress, look at the insane detail on this. I mean, this is outrageously small. Almost has a little bit of a rustic look to the paper used, but yeah, pretty incredible that each one of the letters has one of these inside of it. Oh, looks like I crushed one of those. So there we have it, Puzzlement by Yon Toys, aka the Riddler from the new Matt Reeves Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. Now again, fantastic movie, and I was very excited to get some figures and representations in 1/6 scale format on my shelf. However, this one is just not cutting it. And the crappy painted sculpted boots is like brand new and pristine. This is like the Riddler just walked out of Dick's Sporting Goods, painted a question mark on his chest, and went to work. Which, hey, if that works for you, that's great, but it doesn't work for me. Gotham is a very nitty-gritty place, and it is always raining. On top of that, the Riddler is killing people constantly in brutal ways. Why would his jacket be pristine looking? Why would his mask, why would his pants be pristine looking? The fact of the matter is they wouldn't, and it makes no goddamn sense. Now, the next thing I will mention is articulation is absolutely fantastic. We have double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, paired with cloth pants and jacket means that you can pose this guy however the hell you want without fear of damaging it. He comes with a stand, he comes with a bunch of accessories. And overall, the jacket and pants are actually tailored very nicely. It's just, again, they look way too pristine. I think all the accessories were very nicely detailed. Even the cards, it was absurd that we have 19 variations of cards, but they all look pretty nice, scaled well, and printed very clearly, to the point where they actually look like a miniature real card. It's just, I only needed one of them, not 19 different colors and variations. And then oddly, it's worth noting that the pick that you see in hand, which is the one that he was killing everybody with, is actually a die-cast pick. Not sure why they went that route. We could have went plastic. Nobody would have ever known. But hey, it's cool that we have a die-cast pick with a slight amount of weight that he holds in hand. So, with all that said, I think it's time to finally round this out and slap a score on this guy. And the first thing that comes to mind is a 6.6 out of 10. Now, at a 6.6 out of 10, I'm not saying that this thing is a full-on piece of crap. It's just there's a lot of drawbacks. Had they weathered this thing from the mask to the coat right down to the pants and sculpted some better boots, if not some actual laced, nice, pleather-ish looking boots on this guy, and again slapped some weathering on the tip of those boots, then he could have been in the 8s, if not slightly into the 9s, because articulation is fantastic. It's just the one last drawback on top of all that is the ridiculously poofy hood on him. I'm just a little bit perplexed that we have a big poofy hood with no wiring that leaves us not too many options of how to mold that thing around his head. So with the 6 feet lane version coming out in this version here, I can't necessarily recommend this guy. If you're a huge fan of the Batman and you know how to easily weather his outfit, then I think you have a decent figure in front of you. The only thing left wrong that you would have is the gigantic poofy hood that's hard that you can't mold too much, but I do think there's ways to fix that. So with all that said, we're going to wrap this up today with a 6.6 out of 10, Puzzlement by Yon Studios, and that's going to be it here for us today at KC Toys. We're going to catch you guys next time. Absolutely cannot wait for the Matt Reeves Batman Part 2. Catch you guys next time!
Huh?